Good everyone, today's video. Today it's well, I say video, more like a bonus video, which once again is an unplanned bonus video. And today we have another scumbag alert. And this guy's name is BarBeQu3, with a 3 on the end of it. Now, I was spading my J26 at the time, which is basically a P-51D20, for anyone that's curious. And this aircraft, plus the Chinese D20 and the P-51D20NA in the American tree, the premium one, recently got down to 4.3. I actually had a really good time spading this aircraft, but this match got the plane done, but I was fucking pissed. And you'll understand why. So, obviously, I'm not going to go over the J26, it's a P-51D20, I've gone over it already, except the only real difference is the lack of CAS for this aircraft, which is going to be a big detriment when Swedish tanks come out. I'm fairly certain the Swedish would have equipped this aircraft with more than just 50-kilogram bombs, because to me that just seems a little weak, but that's just me. But obviously the 50 cal guns are pretty much just they're Swedish built 50 cals basically. They fire the same rounds as the post-war or more like late war P-51s and P-47s. So you can have tracer rounds, universal ground targets. I go tracers just because a lot of people tend to fear it. So what did this guy end up doing then? Well, for once it wasn't a runway camper. But this guy, oh my god, he dragged the game out for nearly 40 fucking minutes. In fact, it was probably longer if I remember right. I think it was about 40 minutes, 45, give or take. And obviously I didn't have the bombs at the time because I was nearing the end of the spade. And my rule is with American built aircraft, do not get cast options until the end. So, like, for example, for something like the F4U4B, which I'm soon to start spading, oh boy, I typically would leave the bombs till last, but sometimes I like to go for the first option, so then I can at least get a start on these two, depending on the choice and all that. So I didn't have these 50-kilogram bombs, not that I don't do much to a heavy tank anyway. And it's just ridiculous. He had the option to J out. He had 2 kills. So why was he doing this? Well, here's my thought. I met this guy 2 games earlier. I shot him down. I basically made him look like a twat. He tried to do every trick in the book with his R185. That's why he was flying, by the way. And I basically kicked his ass, and I think he was scared of fighting my J26. That's also another thing I've noticed. A lot of people tend to be afraid of this aircraft because they have no idea what it is. But it's a Mustang. That all you have to do is go look in the hangar. As soon as I saw it on the dev server, I knew it was a Mustang, and clearly people just don't have a look really. But anyway, that's my blabbering. Let's get into this 40-minute long shitfest. There's his name, BarBeQu3 with a 3 on the end of it. And you're gonna laugh. Obviously, I'm gonna skip the majority of the battle since most of it was me roasting the guy in chat. And there you go, 39 minutes. This game could have been, what, 15 minutes? Most likely about 15, 20 minutes. I did actually have to leave temporarily during this battle, so I'll point that out when that occurs. But fuck me sideways, this battle was infuriating. So to put you an idea of what my Mustang, I'm just going to call it a Mustang for the sake of this video because I really can't be asked to keep saying J26. It's a D20. Just going to turn down the engine sound because once again, I play a lot more on without headset on, so I have the volume slightly higher, especially when I play tanks, because that way I can hear the enemy tanks better. So straight away, we've got one player who's J'd out because he's not top dog. Hooray. This is a 4 point... is it 4-7? I believe it's a 4-7 game. Yes, it's a 4-7. And there's going to be some mistakes done by my team, which really didn't benefit any of us. So here you can see an example. P63, P51, Hellcat, and I think there's going to be a Mustang as well that's going to join the party. I know it's an additional Hellcat, and they're all going to swarm the Tiz Mars and stuff like that. Now I thought at the time, well, if the majority, like if at least a third, if not like half the enemy team's down here, I might as well come down and see if I can get some frags, because this looks like it's going to be an open and shut game, because, well, I mean, they've got Yak 9Ts on the deck. This, to me, seems like an open and shut game. Now, unfortunately, we lost the Cobra, and we lost one of the Hellcats, I believe. So I take that Yak for my first frag, and I move to engage this I-185. Now, just to point out, BarBeQu is in a I-185 M71. I personally didn't like that aircraft. To me, it just didn't feel right, if that makes sense. I'm a bit trigger happy here, by the way. I was aiming completely wrong. I was scoring hits on this guy, but I hear gunfire above me, and I just see the Mosquito coming in. Obviously, he's a lot faster than me. You can just tell that. The Wooden Wonder is just blowing my doors off. And we both fire at the same time. He blows the enemy plane out the sky. I get the assist, and I think I also pilot sniped him for an additional assist. So that's always nice. And if you look at the enemy team, they're down to a P63, a Tismar that ran away, an I-185, a PE-8, and an LA-7. I suppose you could call this a 2-in-1 for the Scumbag alert, but to be honest, the LA-7 actually got involved eventually. Keyword. It's BarBeQu you're going to want to pay attention for, and there he is engaging that French Cobra. He's going to shoot down that Cobra. There's not a lot we can do about that. I put in chat to the Mosquito, double tap that guy, lovely jubbly, because, well, that was a good bit of teamwork right there. Obviously, I wasn't able to catch the I-185 due to me not having enough speed after engaging the Yak, and obviously I had to pull out to avoid crashing into the ground. And, well, the Mosquito came in and cleaned them up, so thank you very much there, Mr. Mustang. Well, not Mustang, Mosquito. So at this point, I decided, okay, let's engage some ground targets. And, well, I'm just going to skip us ahead, because, well, all I really do is just farm up some AAA ground target, well, like armored cars and stuff. And, well, it's not long after I kill this convoy of armored cars and AAAs when it's quite clear that this game is going to take longer than I thought. And I will say this, like, all the Mustangs have ammo for days. You can just do stuff like this. I mean, I've gotten a kill, I've gotten 2 assists, and I've gotten 15 ground targets out of it, so that is a pretty good result. So at this point, I start making my way back towards the airfield. However, I actually spot what I thought was a Yak. It wasn't a Yak, it was a Tismar. It was the one that got away, unfortunately. He was gone in 60 seconds. There's a couple of movie references for you. Because, well, we've got to cheer ourselves up somehow, haven't we? So the BTD makes the right decision to not engage the Tismar. If anything, he's actually going to be a big help, that BTD. He's going to end up winning us the game. And he baits the Tismar beautifully. This was a good bit of teamwork on his part. He baits the Tismar, gave the Tismar a long burst, and blow the Tismar at the sky for my second and final air kill. That's the last kill I get in terms of air kills, not in terms of ground. So, once again, I'm going to jump us ahead. This is where I choose to return to base to grab ammo, grab a fresh bit of fuel, and just go from there, really. And it's around about this moment I hit an Avenger order, and this is where we find Fenrir. Which I believe that is an old Yu-Gi-Oh card. Unless I'm not much of a sad prick to remember that. But as you can see, he's at 21,000 feet in an LA-7. And he's done nothing for his team. He's going to get involved later, but it's not this guy that's the problem. This guy actually got involved and wanted the win in the end. Now, Misul, or how do you say that, in the BTD says, well, that. I'm not saying that, because, well, I'm just not. So at this point, I actually had to go AFK briefly. And, yeah, that's just how it is, unfortunately. some of us have lives, so it's because we had to order some food, because, well, it was quite late at night. It was about 8 o'clock when this battle took place. And we just fancied some food, well, we had to get some food in and stuff. So at this point, the P-63, who's been camping a runway at high altitude, decides to dive on the BTD. However, he doesn't know what airspeed is. So the BTD turns sharply, he goes for the shot, and, well, he's about to meet the squirrels. And there goes him. So I put in chat, oof, because, well, you gotta be cringy. And it's now down to the LA7 and the, well, obviously our scumbag of today, BarBeQu3. So at this point, I actually J'd out because I had to quickly go downstairs and obviously get it all sorted. And, well, I come back a few minutes later. And whilst I'm gone, the LA7 is shot down by the Typhoon. And I believe the BTD returns to base, or does he carry on? No, he carries on. So I'm just going to put 16 times speed. It's about the time when the Typhoon straps on some bombs is when I start, obviously, getting back into the battle and I take off. So, key points to note here. I've put in chat, I shot him down a couple of games ago. He may want to focus me. And obviously, I say to the Typhoon, you turn better, since obviously I described what the J-26 was in brief detail to him, because obviously he may not know. And you can engage first, basically. It's around about this point, it's where I think I activate a blind hunt or something. And you can see just exactly what I mean. He's at 21,000 feet, at just over 400 mph. And he's camping at high altitude to drag the game by tickets. Great job. And guess what? See, look, I put in chat, there's our answer, camping to win via tickets. He is not going to participate in the game for the next 12 to 13 minutes. Well, 12 minutes, roughly now. He's not going to do anything. So we have to do this the old way. So what we decided to do is, me and the Tiffy decided, you know what, let's give him something to think about. The BTD, for some reason, wasted his bombs on the vehicles when it would have been probably better to use them on the tanks, really. But me and the Tiffy are now racing to finish off these last two trucks. And horrible shooting on my first burst there against that first truck, but obviously I killed a second in the first burst. And this is where the scumbaggery continues. I put in chat, you ain't gonna win it by hiding at the back of the map, come out and fight. But like I say, he was scared of me. I'm fairly certain he was scared of me. And I'd just like to point out my fuel. I have about 27 to 25 minutes of fuel left on board my Mustang. And I can do this all day. I could wait. And I'm glad I was a bit of a stubborn bastard, because we probably wouldn't have won this game if I wasn't so stubborn, because I think, no, the Tiffy does stay in the battle, the BTD continues to be in the battle, but what if I'd left and he grew some balls? We would have probably lost this battle. But anyway, I'm going to leave it here, because obviously it's only another 9 minutes of just flying around, calling him out in chat. So let's take a quick look at our scumbag stats, and here you can see exactly the problem. He's level 100, he's quite clearly played for quite some time. He has the, I believe this is a title that you can unlock, and it basically means that you have all 5 older nations in wartime, because obviously at the time you didn't have China, you didn't have Italy, you didn't have France, Sweden, etc. And this is where we jump in, and he seems to be a pretty alright player. That's the thing. So why was he afraid? I just don't understand. Obviously, he doesn't play tanks from what I've seen. But he just doesn't seem like he just didn't want to fight, and that gave him the reason to drag out the game for nearly 40 minutes. If you're not going to fight someone that you've met before, and has whooped your ass, there is something called the J key on the runway. It isn't hard. You hold it for 3 seconds after you've landed, repaired, and rearmed, and then bam. What's hard about that? Because I don't see a problem. And unfortunately, folks, this is occurring a lot more. I even had an incident last night when I was spading the Brigand where I got rammed by a BTD and he tried to blame me for it. I was already in a steep dive going for ground targets. By the way, BTD, not enjoying that thing, just saying. But yeah, that well, this battle got me pissed off. And obviously, Hairy Feet's done a video on, I think it was Anonymu 200 or something like that. Feel free to go check his out. I'll put it in the description below. But fuck me, this guy pissed me off. And it's the fact that he was a level 100 is what really rustled my jimmies, shall we say. Gaijin, for the love of God, please start fixing this sort of behavior. You can't let it happen. Runway camping is getting out of hand. In fact, it's already been out of hand for the last 3 freaking years. And players doing shit like this to drag games out is completely uncalled for. And I'm sorry, but this sort of behavior warrants at least a temporary ban. Because it's quite clear to me if this guy meets someone who's better than him, he's just going to cower and drag the game out. If I had the 50-kilogram bombs, I doubt I could have made much of a difference anyway, but that's still the point that I'm trying to say. And it's very frustrating because I see this all the time now, pretty much, folks, and it's really frustrating. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys off. Please do report this guy for passive behavior and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not being funny, right? Did he have 2 kills? Yeah, he had 2 kills. He clearly knew where I was. Like when I engaged his teammates, the Yak and the Tismar. You had the massivest, well, you had a huge altitude advantage. Why not use it? Mustangs handled like bricks at low speeds. You had every advantage, and yet you did shit like this. But I'm sorry, all you have to do, folks. Alternatively, you can do this on the War Thunder website. There's a way to do that. You go onto the War Thunder website, and you basically find the guy's name, and then you put it as unsportsmanlike behavior. But please, just do that and report him. Obviously, I'm not going to report him. I've already done it before, but it's getting out of hand. But anyway, I'll see you all on the next one, and I hope you enjoyed this little scumbag alert. Piece of shit. See you all on the next one.